So at the moment, they're talking about setting up a field hospital as well as preparing various emergency supplies. Israeli forces that are in the area have a lot of experience when it comes down to clearing people from rubble and building collapses. That's one of the things that these units are trained to do. So they are providing direct on-the-ground experience in these areas. The issue is they are fighting against the clock here, and it's not a very forgiving time frame that they're working with. The biggest challenge they're looking at is going to be the weather. They're talking about sub-zero temperatures, and it's freezing. The average person cannot survive those temperatures without shelter at the moment, and 3,000 buildings in Turkey have gone down, at least 3,000. That was a count as of last night, which means that there are tens of thousands of people trapped under that rubble with no shelter and exposed to the elements. Every single hour of delay means that their prognosis for survival is dropping very, very rapidly, which means they have to work quickly. Getting forces deployed to all of these areas quickly in these weather conditions is nightmarishly difficult. Not only do you have to actually disembark everybody from their central locations to the site through bad weather, you have to split them among thousands of different sites that have gone down. Right. When you look at the numbers like that, how long does it take to clear one collapsed building? It could take weeks to do that properly. Yeah. We're talking about 3,000 collapsed buildings. If there's even just 10 people per building, those numbers are worse than a nightmare scenario. And that's what the Israeli forces are up against in Turkey right now. That's why it's not just Israeli forces. You need a global effort right now to provide any hope of survival, and that global effort needs to be organized within minutes rather than waiting days, hours, or, God forbid, longer than that.
Absolutely. Ariel, I want to ask you, where can Israel help where other countries can't?
So there's a few reasons that Israel has a slight edge in these sort of disasters. I was talking about how Israel's Home Front Command, which is assisting in the project, has a lot of experience when it comes down to rubble and getting people out from underneath rubble. What Israel has is a technological edge in rescue operations and even in earthquake detection. This isn't really a rescue operation so much as a preparedness thing, but Israel knows that it is on a large fault line and has built a great deal of earthquake warning systems to try to prepare people for anything going down. You could build a similar infrastructure in other countries. In the more immediate sense, Israeli rescue forces have a lot of ground drones that can be deployed, small robots that could do search and rescue for them. These are a lot of technologies that many other forces in the rescue community do not possess because they're not quite as heavily militarized. They're not expected to respond to a war zone type of situation at a moment's notice. Israel can bring this to bear. The question is, can they bring enough of it to bear quickly enough? Well, that's the question that's going to have to be answered, and hopefully the answer to that is going to be yes.